YouTubers. Alright, so now I'm back in with another episode of Judging BAPS episode 4. So I gotta start off by saying y'all might need to get to the computers and sign some petitions or something, because I think we done got bumped, y'all. These here on the East Coast or whatever, Eastern Standard Time, it used to be 10 o'clock, I think. And now we done got bumped for some show called Children Who Need Whippings or something. Oh, sorry, he's in Asia. The show slid that smooth before this show, so I'm thinking that the ratings are not doing that good. I might be done with these reviews a lot sooner than I thought anyway, which might be just fine. I don't know. So y'all might need to go ahead and sign some papers or something to keep this stuff on the air, because apparently Lifetime is not feeling it. Fix it, Jesus. Start off with Brandon and Anisha in the gym. Anisha is rocking her seeming to be signature day glow pink, whatever. It's the gym. I guess you could wear loud clothes if that's what you feel. I don't know if I'm impressed or just really freaked out. I mean, I know I've already mentioned this before, but she is actually just very small up top. Like, her torso is slim. It just, when you hit them hips, it's just like, I don't know what that means. Like, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I've never really seen anybody shaped like that before. I kind of was like a little distracted this time, so I don't know what the heck this party was actually for. Like a mother party or like a Mother's Day party. I don't know, but something like about mothers at some older BAPS house. I guess like was Ricarda's thing. Like Ricarda is the one that invited these people. It was alright, you know, it looked nice, but then Ricarda slides in that Gina was not invited. Okay, that seemed kind of odd, because it's not Ricarda and Gina was cool, but as the event progressed, it kind of seems like that was something she probably added in after Gina cut up and acted a plumb fool, Lord. I hated Kristen's outfit. It looked like she came from the thrift store for like a 70s party and came back with something that looked straight from the Carpenters' greatest hits. Like sometimes Kristen do like okay. She never does good, but sometimes she do like okay, and today was just not one of those times. Either way, didn't like it. Anisha starts talking about her job with the elder lady, and apparently nobody knows what Anisha does. It sounds like she do something like kind of sort of social work, which I don't understand how in the world she could do any kind of social work, anything, with the attitude that she got about the other half. Gina just started like straight out the gate just like catting, just mad. I don't know. I do not know what happened. Like, I don't know if I missed a part. Did I miss that episode where like Anisha like spit in her food or something? Because Gina is pissed. Maybe she tried to like talk to Ray Ray or something, because she is mad. Gina tried to cut in on her like, girl, don't try to play. You is not a sanitation specialist. You is a janitor. Whether she was a secretary or a professional or not, I don't really know what was the point of pointing that out. Because then she tried to like call out my girl Charlotte Roos's the best parts of a fall 2014 shoe line, and she would try to call her out. That is the best she could do, Gina, so don't act like that, okay? I just really feel like what is understood does not need to be explained. If her hood is showing, which it most definitely is, and you don't need to point it out. I'm pointing it out because what I do. But them, they don't need to point it out. I mean, I think that if, you know, you really are coming from money or whatever, you don't need to tear down somebody who's pretending they come from money, because it's nothing for you to say. You know, if you really come from money, be happy about yourself and your life. It just went crazy from there, and they were just like really like squabbing back and forth, like just both of them was like going crazy. But it really was Gina the antagonist, and I was giving her the mama look. You know, you was in church and you was acting up, and mama, I was looking at her like, stop it, because you know you acting up. I was Gina's mom, like, you better sit down with all that mess in front of this old person, Lord help me. Ricarda was giving her the same look, because I was embarrassing Ricarda right out the rip. Ricarda tried to invite y'all to something. Now, y'all can embarrass each other if you want to, but not my girl Ricarda. She was not having it. So they keep talking about how they're in this other woman's home, but then they go up in her kitchen and they like making stuff, and I'm just like, you ain't allowed to do that in my house. Not a whole bunch of y'all that just showed your hood rat behavior. You is not going to my house, coming up in my kitchen, because I don't know if your hands is clean. Especially you, Anisha, practicing her shade. Just not hard enough though. She gotta try again, because she tried to tell her that Anisha is not from New Orleans, and the last time she had been in New Orleans, something like that. She repeated like 3 times, so I should catch it by now, but it was just so whack that my ears rejected it. She hasn't been from New Orleans since the Saints came marching in. Honey, you should be really familiar with that time, because that's about the same chance that you had of having a baby was right around that same time, at your most fertile at that time. Trying to like play in the confessional like, oh, bad girl, ooh, I like to be spanked. everybody else was just like, you know, looking at them like, y'all really just trying to show your ass up in this old lady's house, and that ain't what you do. Kind of like Gina's sweater just a little bit, but it looked a little vaginal. It's become just like stuck on her playing for the other side, but it's just because all of her neckline just seemed real vaginal. It just giving me real Georgia O'Keeffe life, and I don't know if that's just me. Old lady was just shook and shaking. She was not doing good, and she dropped her china. Anisha, that's what broken china actually, that's what real china sounds like when it hits the ground. Thought that was an educational moment. The more you know. Anyway, then we move on down to the tennis court, and Gina tells us that it's with Gina and Ray Ray. Okay, she going to vent, and I understand that it's called pillow talk. She's talking about how people used to associate tennis with the rich, and that's just the furthest from the truth. There's a tennis court like down the street, and like all they do over there is like shoot. If that's just my city, but I never thought that playing tennis made you rich. Country clubs make you rich, and you was not at one. You was at a park. Actually, garbage on that court too. So yeah, I'm not. Once again, not super impressed. Talks about how Ray Ray is like her little sister. You don't wear no short ass skirt like that when you want to see your sister. Boo. Whole new like little racket bag, like pink and got a bow on it. I don't have a sister, but I never bought nothing like that for no other woman that I know. So then she said she wants to take out her frustration on some balls. So I'm sure it's not the first time you done said that. Just trying to run down to Ray Ray what happened. And even Ray Ray was like, even Ray Ray knew better than that. So that made Gina mad, and we witnessed their first lovers quarrel because Ray Ray was on the wrong side of that issue. She was saying, no, Gina, you was wrong. And so she kind of like got a little bit mad, but you know, they'll kiss and make up off camera. So then we roll over to the restaurant with Brandon and Anisha and Jean-Baptiste. And Jean-Baptiste was looking cute. He looked real nice. Little suit. And I thought that was really cute. I thought that he was wearing his Easter Sunday best, and I can't lie, the boy got a little bit of style. Fine. So she's trying to teach him etiquette, which we all know is just stupid, because that boy, what fork do you use for Swedish fish? What you use for Twizzlers? I don't know. What kind of glass do you use for quarter waters? Brandon seemed like he was doing good. He seemed like he might be a good dad. He was cussing a little bit too much for my liking in front of a kid. I thought that was kind of a lot, but he seemed like he was probably like he seemed nice. Like he seemed like a good dad. So then we go over to the park, and guess who's there? Jason Sans Bowtie is there, and he seemed like a good dad too. So I'm just saying, they don't even need to adopt. Like Jason already got some kids apparently. That's nice, and they both seem to be good parents. I like it. Kristen comes with George Maddox, which is odd. Like, do all boys in St. Louis have two first names, or is that just their middle name? Or like, you give them a good first name because you know they gotta get like jobs and stuff, but you give them a crazy middle name so you can always say it, so it can sound like you gave them like a alternative name. I don't know how that goes. I hated Kristen's hair. I do not like it. I understand that they're supposed to be going to a park and it's not supposed to be, you know, dress your best, but it's like you knew there was gonna be cameras there. You should have done something to struggle it together. They had like that line like she always is putting it in a scrunchie, so just put it in a damn scrunchie, because really it's looking bad. Kristen, somehow she made black look bad. Like black actually seemed to make Kristen look bigger. I don't know if it's like it was a cut because it was really drapey, real Whoopi Goldberg like, or if it was just because Kristen just has that kind of power. Like that, I better shut up because I haven't had a baby yet, and I hope that one day I will. And I don't want to go through what Kristen is apparently going through, and then, you know, like she put a Papa Legba Hex on my ass, okay? So I'm just going to shut up about that. Maybe it's just the stress of having their first baby. So I'm going to ease up on her for about one more episode. And then we move over to Anisha's house. She about to go on a picnic with Swiss Beat's little brother. I was about to say, I had it written here. I was about to say, her house looks nice. Like, it looks clean. I was so close to saying it. Oh, nope. Apparently her refrigerator smells like garbage juice, and it's because there's a lot of garbage in it, you know, old Taco Bell. I don't know. Just as soon as I was ready to say something nice, it just came out, and they were just talking about how bad and horrid the smell was. And to me, it's just like, you take a girl out the hood, but you take the hood out the girl. You can have cleaning service come through here real quick, but yo, truth be showing. Yo, skeletons come out the closet, because her refrigerator was nasty, and that's something that if you was really a classy person or a clean person, that would not be a problem. So, boop. And y'all can say whatever you want to say about Gina and the way she showed her ass at that tea, but Anisha showed you have a fresh weave this next scene. She had a brand new weave, because she got her together with the is that nappy or yucky comment, and the girl showed you have a new wig. She really did. She must have got that from the same place she get her purses from. There and goes and try to pretend that she actually has questions as to whether Swiss Beat's little brother wants to get married or not. Have you ever just seen a dude and just the light dies in his eyes? Like, that's what happened. We already knew he didn't want to get married, and so did she. Lifetime just had them ask that stupid ass question. I feel like if a guy wants to marry you, you don't have to ask him, does he want to marry you? I just feel that way. I know sometimes a guy needs a little bit of motivation. But for the most part, like, I think if that's what he wanted to do, she wouldn't have to ask him if that was the way he was going. If he liked it, then he would have put a ring on it. So, nah, he ain't trying to marry you, girl. She was trying to tell him about like, how her friends expect this and her friends expect that. And he hit him with the, ooh, kill him. He was like, how many of them is married? Boom! None of them. Except for Kristen. Which we'll talk about that in a second because we about to smooth right on into the sip and see. I guess like the baby's introduction to the world or something. Think Phaedra and Apollo, but way less. So she had to bless a dead Arnuki beast to make sure that Anisha wasn't gonna put no hex or spell on her child. Sorry, but I just can't tell. I know I said I was gonna ease up, and I am easing up, but I just can't tell if Kristen looks good or bad in this dress. She is reminding me a lot of Barney, but I feel like that's too easy. Like maybe it does look cute and I'm just like lying to myself. I don't think it does. We finally get to take a glimpse of Kristen's husband, whose name is Quincy, and he is not a treat. He is looking like Pastor McClendon from Preachers of LA, but just like, like if he'd been through some hard times and had a lot less money. Kind of like that. I don't really know what else to compare him to, but I definitely thought he would be, he would look a little bit different. Like he could have gave me like El DeBarge realness maybe back in the day when he was younger. Like, you know, he got off on like being light-skinned, but now, you know, he's just older. Where do the light-skinned people go? He got married to Kristen. Everybody came in. Well, not everybody. That's the problem. A lot of the older people and the people who got good sense came in looking nice, dressed as if they were going to like maybe a tea party or something like that. Nope. Nobody else really hit the mark. Ray Ray came in looking like she was lost as always. I think that Ray Ray just be like, she'd be on her way to other stuff, and then Lifetime be like, hey, you got to come to this thing. And she's like, damn, I'm just gonna wear the clothes I was gonna wear to the club. That's where she wears. It was less than just club. She did better than club, but not too much better than going to the mall. But I'm not just going to only hit on Ray Ray because it wasn't just her. Gina looked like she was going to like a summer picnic. So Gina was wearing like a big napkin. You know, Anisha went ahead and topped everybody by coming in looking like she was also going to, you see, they always like going to like an abandoned 60s party and everybody just forgot when it was. You know, Kristen got her 60s out the way before, and Anisha got her 60s out the way that day. I'm not trying to hate on the thick girls. Trust me, I'm not. I just don't understand why Anisha know what her arms look like and she always wears sleeveless stuff. She went on her date with Swiss Beat's little brother. She looked cute. Like, she looked probably the best that I've seen her this whole season. She did look like she came fresh out of Barbie's dream house. Well, next adjacent. Barbie's dream house adjacent. Still, she looked like the cutest I've seen her look, and she was wearing a sweater over like her arms. Her arms are just really big, and then she puts this tight sleeveless thing on top and making it look like it's like squishing meat out of it. And I just wish that she would stop doing that. I want so bad to give her a compliment, and every time she messes it up. Kristen goes ahead and pulls her to the side, her and Gina at one time or another, and lets them both know that she done called the po-po. She got 5-0 present, and perhaps that is best. Just if you're gonna be as snooty as Kristen seems, and if you're gonna be as ghetto as Gina and Anisha can be, you probably should just go ahead and get the police in the mix. Overall, the party looked nice, although they would try to like slide it in when Anisha decided to write her note, but they try to slide it in. Is that ish at a daycare center? Was y'all at a playroom? I mean, if you rent any place out, you gotta have a little bit of money, but just go ahead and do Chuck E. Cheese and call it a day. So Gina decides this is her moment. This is her moment, and she's gonna do it. And so she goes to apologize to Anisha, but she goes to apologize to Anisha clutching a wine bottle. I don't know, maybe it's just like a BAPS thing versus the real world thing, because if somebody rolled up on me clutching a bottle, they're not coming to apologize. So maybe she just didn't know that, or maybe she did know that, okay? So she goes to apologize to her, and Anisha just gave it a Kanye shrug, like, boop, not talking about it right now. G2G, adios. I was like, oh, she played her, and Gina was mad. And it was like, well, you can't really be mad. Like, you should have just not talked to her at all, or just said like a hi and moved on, because this was not the place. For once, Anisha was correct. But as always, Anisha had to play and be stupid, and so she still did address her, just in a way that of course she couldn't say anything back. She tells Kristen of her plan, and Kristen like, oh man, I just try to give you a compliment. Like, everybody tried to compliment Anisha, and she just screws it up. So Kristen was trying to tell her, you know, good job for not screwing this up for me and my baby, and Anisha like, psych, I'm gonna go screw it up for you and your baby. And she does this like Heidi-ho, big hi-ho, it's off to work she goes, looking like all day long pink Oompa Loompa. Now, Anisha, you brought that on yourself. You got nice legs, but that's the end of it, okay? And Technicolor is not your look. She skips to the doodah to the lime green Skittle to leave a note that she wrote. I must admit she had nice handwriting. I mean, I guess that's something. And then she ends it with some real Mama D life and says that it ain't no fun if the bunny's got the gun. And I'm just like, y'all need to stop that. That was the end of that. This one was a little bit less eventful than the other ones, I think. I don't know. It just seemed like there wasn't as much to talk about. And that might be why we're getting bumped for children who make men uncomfortable. We'll see if it gets canceled and that's just it. But as long as it continues to come on, I will be there.